Does texting too much kill attraction? Hi there, men's dating coach HarryWilmington here, founder of IntrovertDatingSuccess.com, and today you're going to learn the effect over-texting and under-texting has on a woman's interest, the results of which may surprise you. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon to be notified of new videos. Also, check out the website to download my free ebook, Texting Like a Boss, which gives you helpful tips on attracting women with your phone the right way. And now, let's check out that clip. For years, I used to say to guys, texting kills relationships. And at the time when I was saying that, what I meant was that it seemed to be that the more men text women, the worse results that they tend to get in terms of it'll go from the woman wanting to respond back to them and send her own messages to where it kind of starts to slowly dwindle off to where she'll not respond back at all. She'll go completely ghost, or you'll have planned a date with her. Like say you plan a date with a woman for like a week in advance, and then you spend all week texting her, and the next thing you know, the day of the date comes and she's like, oh, something came up, oh, I'm sick, oh, I can't do it, my dog died or whatever. And you're like, okay, what happened? And you're unaware that maybe it was because you were texting too much. And I also try to point out to you guys that the less that you text, it actually is better for you for a variety of reasons, whether it's because you're giving her space to think about you, whether it's because you're giving her time away and you're not bothering her while she's doing other stuff. But again, I talk on the show all the time about that. So I wanted to read you some example posts that I saw today on Reddit from women that I do not know, that just I'm looking through Reddit and I see these things posted and I'm like, oh, this illustrates what the heck I'm talking about. So I'm going to first read you this one right here. And the title is, how do I deal with someone that never stops texting me? Am I being unreasonable? Okay, this is from a woman. And the post goes like this. I matched with someone on Tinder last week. I have him on Snapchat because it was promising at first. He's pretty cool, but he never stops texting me. We've agreed to meet this Friday, but I'm not so sure anymore. We've been talking every single day since we matched and almost every single hour. And he even texts me while he's at work and sends me videos of what he's currently doing. Every time I try to stop the convo, he brings up something new. Maybe I'm being mean. I don't know. I feel we'll eventually get bored of each other. Am I unreasonable? Should I just appreciate it? I don't want to ruin something that has potential. So here's a guy who matched with this woman, and she said he seems very, very cool. He seems like an awesome guy. He got added to the Snapchat, and she's thinking, okay, it'll be cool because we can talk. But ideally, if women are adding you to their phone or their text stream or whatever, they're hoping that they're doing that in the hopes of that you're going to ask them out on a date. Most women aren't trying to add you to these various platforms to have you as a virtual pen pal. But most guys do this, where they get a woman's number, then they think, okay, in order to attract her, I got to be around her all the time, and I got to text her nonstop. And as you can see from this woman right here, every single day since she gave him the number, added him to Snapchat or whatever, he's been texting her, and now she's starting to change her mind about meeting him. Now, to her, she's probably thinking this doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know why I suddenly feel less interested in meeting him. All I know is he's texting me all the time. It's not making me feel as good as I'd like, and now I kind of want him to go away. Because she's even asking, is this unreasonable? And the sad part is, as men, we'll text nonstop. Women will have no idea why they don't like this. Because they too have been taught, well, a guy should communicate with me and, we should be texting back and forth nonstop. But then when they do that, they're like, but why isn't this working? Like, this is what I was told was going to make me feel that a guy likes me and I should like this attention, but somehow I don't like it. Okay? And so this is an example of a lie that you've been taught, that you need to be texting a girl nonstop to get her interest. As you can see, she says, we agreed this Friday. This means she did not forget about the plans for Friday. So they could have possibly set this up like on Monday or Tuesday. She already has in her head, okay, Friday, I'm going out with this guy. She does not need to be reminded that she has a date with this guy because she set it up. And women have better memories than guys do. So I've literally had it where I've set up dates with women 2 weeks in advance. And like the day of the date, they're texting me, hey, so are we still going on our date? Why? Because they still remembered that we had a date. So you got to be mindful that a woman's not going to forget you just because you stop texting her or you don't text her for several days in a row. And as you can see, the results of this is this woman is very, very annoyed by a guy that she actually wanted to go out with. Okay, so that's that one. That's one showing that, if you are texting too much, this is what can happen. You risk possibly turning her off. Let's go to this next post over here, okay? And this post is titled, "Is it possible for a guy to like you but not like to text you?" All right? So she's 25 years old, and she says, "A few weeks ago, a guy from my high school days asked me out on a date. He's a major babe, and I really like him. He said he's liked me and even remembers the first class we had together. A dream situation. We've been on 4 dates now, and they always go great. But I get so insecure in the days between because he only replies one word via text. I know I text too frequently, so I decided to lay off the texting because maybe he isn't a texter. Yesterday, he asked me, 'Am I bothering you?' Which was super freaking confusing because, I thought it was me bothering you. I told him I was trying to tone down the texting, but my intentions are, I'm into you, I want you more." So what is this saying right here? So here's a girl who has the opposite problem, where it's okay, she's gone out on 4 dates. She's into this guy, he says he's a hottie, and they went to school together in the past, whatever. So now we're in a situation where, because he's not texting her all the time, she feels insecure. She feels that maybe she's bugging him. She's wondering, but wait, why doesn't he text me so much? Why isn't he trying to, be in my DMs all day long? Why am I a bother to him? I hope that he recognizes that I actually do like him and I want to see more of him. But why is that? Well, could it possibly be because he's not in front of her face all the time, which is now making her desire his presence? Could it be that by not hearing from him, she's in her head thinking, I'd love to hear from him. When can I see him again? I guess I hope he's going to ask me out again soon and we can go out and have a good time. And he's really a hot guy and I really want to get with him now. And as you can see, it's like she's saying to him, I want you. I want more of you. Well, it's easy to want more of a guy when he's not around all the time. So when you're first meeting these women, or in this guy's case, they knew each other back in the day, but he's still treating this like a new person, which is, okay, even though we were friends back in the day, we didn't date, but now she's the potential dating partner. So that means that I need to treat this girl like I treat other girls that I'm dating, which is you take them out, you show them a great time, and then when you're gone, you ghost. You text them specifically to get a date, and then you save your conversation and talking for the date. And you can see the results he's getting, which is this girl is clamoring for him and wanting his attention and wanting to know how she goes on. She says, what is going on here? Why do you think he's bothering me if I'm the only one always texting him? How do I address this in a casual way on our next date? She's trying to think of, how can be the one to get him to text me more? And unfortunately, it's because I'll hear people say, I wish I didn't have to play this game, or why can't I just be straightforward on the phone? And like I've said before, the game works well for you if you know the rules of the game and why they work, okay? So while women may be telling you, I need you to call me more, I need you to text me more, subconsciously, it's not a thing that works in your favor. So if you want it to best work in your favor, when you first meet a woman, those first couple months of dating, don't be so quick to text her. Don't be the one thinking you got to text her all the time right away. And hey, I've had this experience too, okay, where I met a girl, we really liked each other, and she tried to tell me that whole thing of oh, I'm different from other girls, which I talked about in a previous podcast. But she was like, oh, no, I like hearing from guys all the time, and I like getting messages and emails. So we literally messaged and emailed each other every day, almost the first month and a half, before she started to trail off. And then she wasn't texting back as much. And when she did, it'd be 1 or 2 words. And the next thing you know, she's answering me every 5 or 6 days to where we don't talk anymore. And it was just oh, so that was a lie. So, and I did this purposely because I was okay, everybody's always saying that I'm crazy for this whole wait, don't text messages as much. So I'll do the opposite and try to just text nonstop and see what happens. And sure enough, women ultimately don't like that. It doesn't give them a good view of you as a guy. It makes them look at you as a guy that's probably too needy or desperate, doesn't have other people to communicate with, is possibly that guy that's going to end up being a really weird guy to date, or is going to constantly try to look for her for attention. And that does not read well off of us. They can get away with it because, they're the ones that of the two sexes can be the ones that look more less mature or less more anxious and stuff like that. And it doesn't give any knocks to them. As a guy, if you see a woman that's kind of anxious, we're more apt to want to be oh, let me take care of her. Let me try to assure her that things are, okay and stuff like that. But it doesn't work in the same favor for us. Okay. So keep that in mind. You now have seen 2 examples of what I'm talking about. One where a guy texts too much and she's ready to drop the date altogether, and one where the guy was not texting as much, and the girl's like dying to let him know how much she wants to be in his life. All right? So that's the first thing. Let me check the chats here real quick. So we got I literally get nervous when dudes don't text back a lot. Yeah, and again, unfortunately, like I said, it's the part of the game where guys that don't know that, they overtext too much, and then the girl's like, well, I already got this in the bag, so it's almost like they take it for granted. Versus a guy that's more kind of like laid back and chill, it's almost like they're now in their heads. It's kind of like, I think of it as like, it's an ego hit for them. Like, women's egos, ours typically is built on like, oh, we're good providers, we know how to get money, we have a certain status in our life. For women, it's like their looks and people like them. And so unfortunately, it works very well if you don't text the girl as much, because now you're hitting that part of her esteem that's like, am I worth hanging around with? Maybe I don't look as good as I want. And it sucks, but it works. So it is what it is. Now that you've heard from me, I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever texted a woman too much, and what was the result? If you're watching on YouTube, leave your comments below or write me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. Are you ready to learn how to attract women via texting? Go to introvertdatingsuccess.com right now to download my free ebook, Texting Like a Boss, which will give you the secret do's and don'ts of attracting women with your messages the smart way. If you like this video, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and click the little bell icon to be notified about future videos. Also, catch the live version of this show on protestparty.tv every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. West Coast time to join in on the chat. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.